Her hair grew faster than anyone had ever seen. By the time she was 19, it touched the ground. A month later, it was dragging behind her like a heavy rope. Dimma lived in a small town in eastern Nigeria where people noticed everything. At first, her hair was a source of pride. Women asked what oil she used, men joked about marrying her for it, and children tugged at the thick strands in awe. But it did not stop. Every week she cut it, and every week it grew back twice as long. Soon she could not hide it. Her mother started burning the cut hair because neighbors said that someone could use it for witchcraft. The rumors turned into suspicion. People avoided her in the streets when Dimma walked past. Boys shouted after her, calling her a spirit. Her father told her to keep inside, but inside the house the hair still spread. It coiled through the rooms, tangled around chairs, clogged the bathroom, and filled bags that no one knew where to throw. The weight of it began to hurt her back. She tied it in knots, wrapped it with cloth, even tried burning the roots with hot combs, but the hair refused to stop. She could no longer sleep well. Strands pulled at her scalp when she turned her head. Doctors in the nearest city shaved it off completely, leaving her scalp raw and sore. She came home relieved, but by the next week, the hair was back, thicker and faster than before. The doctors said they had never seen anything like it. By then, her parents had started fighting about what to do with her. Some relatives said she should see a pastor, others a traditional healer, others a specialist abroad. But no one wanted to pay. Everyone wanted her hidden. So she stayed in her room, trapped by something that looked beautiful from the outside, but was slowly breaking her body. The sound of scissors, razors, and combs filled her days. Still, no matter what she cut, burned, or threw away, by morning her head carried more. Her hair would not stop growing, and no one around her could stop treating it like a curse. Dimma was lying on her bed, lost in thoughts with her throbbing headache when she heard a knock on her door. Her mother pushed the door open and told her there were people waiting for her outside. Dimma forced herself up, dragging the heavy strands with her. When she stepped outside, she saw a strange man and woman. They looked like the kind of people she only saw on television. Both dressed in sharp suits, their faces unreadable. The woman held a black folder in her hand, and the man gave her a polite bow. The woman opened the folder and flipped it around. Inside was a picture of Dimma, a picture of her walking in the market. She had never posed for it. She had never even seen it. "This is you," the woman said flatly. "The world has already seen it too." The man's voice was calm, too calm. He explained that their company specialized in human hair products, and hers was unlike anything they had ever encountered. They wanted to employ her. They would pay her, house her, even send money to her family. But most importantly, they claimed they could one day cure her. At the word cure, Dimma's mother paid more attention. She turned to her daughter with eyes full of hope. Finally, someone was offering a way out of the nightmare. But Dimma didn't trust it. She shook her head, clutching her hair like it was a chain. "I just want it gone," she whispered. "All of it gone." The woman smiled politely, but her eyes stayed sharp. "Yes, we understand. There is a solution, but it can only be done after a contract with us, 2 years. In the meantime, you will live in comfort, we will handle the hair, and when your time is complete, you will be cured." Her father came out then, listening to every word. He heard the money, he heard the promise of a cure. He told her this was her chance. He told her to sign. Dimma refused to sign at first and asked to hear from a doctor directly. The company agreed, arranged her visa, and flew her to China. At the hospital, doctors confirmed there was a cure, rare but possible, and gave her drugs to ease the headaches until the 2 years were over. That assurance was enough, and she finally signed the contract. Life changed quickly. She was given a luxury apartment, money was sent to her parents, and every week workers came to cut her hair, carrying away bundles that became profit for the company. Dimma was rich and well cared for, but the hair kept growing and the pain never left. As the months passed, the medication grew weaker, the headaches returned stronger than before, and each night she lay awake, clutching her head, waiting for the contract to end. The cure was close, Yet doubt was beginning to creep in. 2 years later, Dimma walked into the director's office expecting freedom. She told herself she had survived the worst. The cure was finally here. But when she demanded it, the director leaned back in his chair and looked at her as if he had never heard of such a promise. The director told Dimma the cure existed but would not be given yet. He even showed it to her. He claimed he needed her at least another year. The truth became clear. The company never planned to let her go. The cure would end her hair growth forever, and with it, their profits. She was not an employee, she was raw material. Her phone was taken. Instead of treatment, she was handed painkillers under a nurse's watch, never trusted to keep them herself. The pills dulled the pain for hours, never enough. Her apartment turned into a cage, guards shadowing her every move. Workers still came weekly to cut her hair, hauling away crates heavier each time. She knew they were shipping her freedom piece by piece. Her health collapsed. The headaches grew unbearable. Soon she was transferred to a private ward in the hospital, under constant guard. She studied everything. The guard by her door kept his gun low at his hip. The doctor who checked her often carried the cure she had seen before. Dimma knew she didn't have a year left. She barely had weeks. One afternoon, after a doctor finished his checks and turned to leave, Dimma clutched her head and screamed. The guard rushed closer. With a burst of desperation, she snatched the gun from his hip and pointed it at them both. She forced the doctor and the guard ahead of her, the gun steady in her hand. The secured office was just opposite her ward. Inside, she demanded the cure. The vial was placed in her hands. She drank it carefully, never lowering the weapon. The world spun almost immediately, and she collapsed before she could feel relief. When she opened her eyes again, everything was different. The air was hot, the voices thick with familiar accents. She was no longer in China, she was in Nigeria. The company had sent her back quietly, discarding her once she became useless to them. Her family welcomed her home. She had savings to rebuild her life. Her hair shed day by day until nothing was left. Her head was smooth, but the headaches were gone. She was bald, but she was finally free.